being fired, moderators making not suitable content, artists, like actual in-game artists having Patreons for not suitable for work stuff, which was then promoted by AQW moderators? What is going on? All I wanted to know is if there was a new class coming out. I didn't want to see frickin' Twiggly getting railed by Nolgath. Please subscribe. So yeah, I saw that there's meant to be a new class coming. But I haven't seen any information. Does anyone know anything about it? Like, is it meant to be like a new endgame farm? Is it just going to be a class that we can just buy? Like, have they said anything on it? From the images I saw, and the text that I read, I wasn't even sure it was real. I thought it was a joke. Like, I thought it was just a meme. It's just that it's a darkened class. I believe it'll be a class. Okay, Boris, you played yourself. Well, I guess I played myself. Yeah, so I saw that they're still doing their same antics after like 12 years. They still do the whole like, oh, is it really? Are we really doing like, oh, you'll never know what we're gonna do? Like, it's fucking old, man. Like. Why are we playing, like, why are we fucking around now? Let's just be honest. AQW is no longer a game that is designed for kids. It's no longer aimed at kids. In fact, it hasn't been aimed at kids since 2013, 2014, when they started pumping more microtransactions into AQW than Fortnite. Okay? Like, let's just be honest. It hasn't been a kids game in a very long period of, like, fucking time. I'd rather just know if you're going to update the game or not. That's what I, like, honestly, like, the joke is so old. They've been doing it, like, since I was a kid. I'm not, like, upset about it or, like, angry about it, but fucking, it's just so, what's the word I'm looking for? Just give people a definitive answer, like, the joke's funny, but then you see that they do it with quite a lot of stuff. AQW Infinity, AQW Mobile, AQW 2D. See, like, I'm sure people know where I'm going with this. There's a lot of kickstarting. I don't know if anyone remembers AQW 3D, like how that started, right? There's like Kickstarters, backing programs, founders editions. Like, I swear they get so distracted and just keep pumping out random projects that no one's asking for. And I think most people can agree that their cash cow is AQW. AQW is the cash cow for Artix Entertainment. And that is why AQW Infinity has to work. And I kind of want to stress this. If they don't manage to carry everything over to AQW Infinity, I genuinely believe Artix Entertainment will quickly run out of money and die. Because whether you believe it or not, you're not going to get many new players playing a game like Adventure Quest Worlds, even if you slap it on a new engine. The gameplay is still outdated. Like, it's still an outdated game. It's very basic at its core. The audience is people that are in their 20s at least now. It's people that played it as a kid. What AQW Infinity is going to do is it's probably going to bring older players back to the game. And we've seen that with these streams. The amount of people that follow me from other games, right, that have come into my stream since I've been playing AQW, like, oh my god, this game is still alive. I can't wait for Infinity. But there's no new players. There's no one that's like, oh yeah, I just started playing yesterday. Because why would they? There's other games that cost less money to enjoy that are just better. Then, like, Adventure, like, Artix Entertainment isn't doing anything innovating. They're just dragging games that have essentially been dead for years, and they're just trying to essentially just squeeze what they can out of it. And people might get upset by you saying that, but it's a reality that I feel like people have to grasp on. I really enjoy this game for nostalgia. And if the game is going to survive, AQW Infinity has to be a winning chip, right? They have to make sure AQW Infinity is good. And I've seen the tech demos, and I can say that sure, it looks okay, but it doesn't look like they innovated anything. Some of the stuff that they've added into like the new engine is stuff where it's like, okay, well, these are things that should have been added like 8 years ago. I think rather than making AQW 3D, they should have just made AQW Infinity from the start. They should have looked at moving to a different engine for AQW before even looking into something like AQW 3D. And I still don't even know why they made AQW 3D. I still don't know why. Some of it looks fun. I've seen some clips of AQW 3D, but I played every single test phase. I kickstarted, I backed it, I got the Founders Edition. I played every test phase. And after I played every test phase, I come to the conclusion that it's just a cash grab. It was filled with loot boxes when the game wasn't even out. It was just like they could have done something with it, but they went straight to, oh, we can get money from this, so let's do it. Now, I'm not saying games being pay to win or yada yada is bad. It just feels like Ardix Entertainment don't actually put out many good games anymore. I think with AQW Infinity, it could be a chance to actually go back to innovating and making good stories. And the thing that I like about AQW is what people hate, right? I like the fact that AQW's story doesn't take itself seriously. And I know some people disagree, but I generally like the fact that 1 minute you can be fighting a demon or an undead pirate, and the next minute you're fighting a giant celestial chicken cow. I don't know, I find that funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously. The game is a collection game, though. And I see a lot of people arguing whether the game is pay to win or not, and there is no debate whether this game is pay to win or not. The game just is pay to win. The game is about collecting. You can spend money to collect. Thus, you are paying to essentially win, because the game is just pretty much collection. This game is close to freaking Barbie's doll dress up. Okay? And that doesn't even make it so, like, it doesn't even mean it's a bad thing, but like the argument of whether the game is pay to win or not, it is pay to win. Does it mean it's bad? No. It just means you can pay for pretty much everything in the game minus a few items. I genuinely like the Hero Mart. I think the Hero Mart's a great idea. If you love a product, right, you will go out and you will buy products. I'm sure as a kid you went out and you got a Star Wars lunchbox, right? You supported Star Wars by buying a freaking lunchbox. Okay? You franchise. That's all they've done. The Hero Mart is just they're franchising their game. If anything, it's American. Which I don't have a problem with. I always thought that was a pretty cool idea. You can buy a shirt supporting the game, and then you get stuff in that game. Like, that's... I mean, that's not exactly that far-fetched from a lot of, you know, other practices. So I think that's completely fine. And it's the same for IOTAs. I know that, like, rarity is generally a thing, and rarity is still there. You can always argue, oh, well, you can just IOTA it. Oh, you didn't earn it, you just IOTa'd it. At the end of the day, it costs a lot of money to get an IOTA. But for me, when I collect an item, I remember when I got it and how I got it, pretty much. Like, I don't dislike the fact that I have a Dragon Blade. It's now easier to obtain a Dragon Blade, yet I'm still happy that I have this Dragon Blade. I remember farming it. It goes for the, we talked about this the other day. It goes for the Ungodly Reavers. These are now incredibly easy to get. You can get this done in a few hours if you're cracked out your mind. They're super easy, but when I did it, it took me 2 fucking weeks on a crappy laptop. I must have watched about 50 movies sitting at on my desk on my little laptop, playing AQW in a tiny little box farming for them, but it doesn't make me feel bad that they changed, that it's now easier to get. It's easy to get, but I still am happy with the memory of having to farm it. But that does bring me onto another point. And that's content. AQW is very straightforward, right? You have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I called official, sorry. You have your attacks, you fight a mob, you make classes. The game is a stat check. There is so much more they could do to even make that end game, like just the end game of this, even more exciting. There is more they could put in the game that would make the game more exciting. And I'm hoping with a new engine they do it. When ADHD comes in and out of nowhere. I'm sorry. Did I get sidetracked? What was I talking about? Oh, wait. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to carry on talking about what part I'm on, and you're all going to deal with it. I forgot where this started, but we're damn well going to get to the end of it, okay? We're going down the rabbit hole. When the new game comes out, I would like to see leaderboards for ultras, right? And I'm going to explain how they work. Let's use Trove as a good example. In Trove, every week, you could farm bosses, right? And the top 100 people that killed that boss quick enough would get... Their name would be purple, right? Their name would be purple. Now, when that was implemented, that was a very good idea. Now, you need an active player base for it, but when you look at a game like AQW, this is a game that can profit from having something like that. It gives endgame players something to do. It gives them a reason to maybe use classes. What they could do is have 3 rooms of 3 bosses, and you go from one boss to the second boss to the third boss. The people that kill it quickest simply get on that weekly leaderboard. At the end of the week, you give them rewards. There is so many simple little things they could do. Yes! Also, I got the altar of Kalad Bacon. Let's do this. I got what I wanted. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And that's what I'm saying they should do. They need to add mechanics in the game that keep people just play it, like want to play the game, not just sign in and mindlessly farm. Make it so they have to use their classes. Make it so there's bosses that have proper, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Proper mechanics. With them being able to make the game like a side scroller, they should be able to add more mechanics into the game. They need to make it so that, like, there's 2 routes they can go. They can make this game an idle game, which they need to start putting idle mechanics in the game. Oh wait, I can come back and help. Sorry. I don't mind farming everything. They can either add idle mechanics in the game so people don't have to use third-party software and risk losing their account, or they can actually start adding mechanics that make people want to play the game. And personally, you can add both of them and make the game better. But they should focus on AQW. I've looked at every other game over the last few days. Epic Jewel is hanging on less than a hair inch. A nipple hair. Epic Jewel is hanging in by a nipple hair, okay? Like, its community basically doesn't exist. It is a handful of people. No one's really bothered anymore. No one's really playing it anymore. And all I see about the game is how people are gifting so much. It's just, they're just adding things that make you pump money into the game for a badge. That's all they've been doing. And the reason why Epic Jewel won't succeed is it is a pay-to-win PvP turn-based fighting sim game, if that's what you can call it. It's not in 2024. It just doesn't work. And if you're gonna say it's not pay to win, I laugh at you with Gamma Bot. Like, it's always been pay to win, and it kind of like games like Adventure Quest, Mech Quest, and Dragon Fable should always be around as these like retro games. But AQW is their cash cow, and they should focus on that. They shouldn't have been pulling away artists to go and work on other projects like AQW 3D. Like, maybe they wanted to do that, but I think it's safe to say it's a failure. If there are people that generally enjoy AQW 3D, I also apologize for making it seem like I'm chatting shit, but in terms of numbers, I feel like the only reason Artix Entertainment is kept alive is because of... Why is there like a char page? Sorry. It's because AQW has so many whales in it. And like I said before, if you spend money on this game, like even if it's being pay to win, it is your decision. Do what you want. Do what you enjoy. I've spent money. I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy the game. It is what it is. I've been playing it since I was a kid. At some point, you're going to end up spending money. If you enjoy it, it doesn't matter. Just do what you enjoy. No worries, Boris. Like, just do what you enjoy. But saying the game is pay to win doesn't mean automatically the game is bad. At the end of the day, it is a collection game, like I said. Like, what you want to do is you want to collect items and then one day show them off. That's just what it is. That's what the game is. But there is a lot they can do with a simple click and point game. I'm surprised that they never added Card Clasher into the game. Like, I know what you're going to say. Well, there is the class. I mean the card game. Why did they never implement a PvP card game inside of AQW? Seriously, why didn't they? And I'll wait for excuses. Because motherfucking Club Penguin did it. Club Penguin. Club Penguin did it. They managed to add a card game in, and I've got to say, 7-year-old me was gangster at it, okay? And yes, it was simple, but you earned stuff from playing it, and you could get a black belt from playing it. AQW has more than enough money and more than enough resources to make decent updates. They just don't seem to do it. They could add that, like, they could make a card game. Mate, my card jitsu's better than yours. Don't even try to fight me, Don. My card jitsu is S tier, second to none. Okay? Other than that weird penguin with the pirate, he used to scare me. The pirate penguin. Not penguin with the pirate. The pirate with the beard what? The penguin with a beard that was a pirate. I'm so lost. That's it, Rockhopper. Anyway, they could easily add a card game, add a leaderboard, and have a PvP card game where you can just duel 1v1 and make it so you earn rewards and think like they could like think of it this way, right? I'm just spitballing ideas here. I'm not saying this is a perfect idea. I'm literally making this up as I go along. Let me go to yoga where it's somewhere relaxing, right? Let's pretend I've made a card game inside of this game, right? Oh, there's a seasonal shop, right? There's a seasonal shop. Let's pretend this is seasonal. Once a month, this shop is going to change. Then these items go rare. You can't get them anymore. Wah. And to get the merge resources, you simply play the card game. Like, you can do this with 50 billion other fucking ideas. It just seems they don't want to make new systems. And I'm gonna hope that that is because they are focusing on AQW Infinity. That is what I'm hoping. But when I was a kid, I swear I remember hearing about how AQW is coming to mobile. They're working on a way to get it to mobile. They're planning all of these things. And then in 2024, we're still on Flash. And I'm not saying it's easy to port everything to a new engine. It's definitely difficult. But I feel like they need to start being a lot more transparent. Because even as let's just say as a content creator, which I don't like saying, by the way, but I can hardly find anything out. I literally cannot find any information that's accurate. When I was looking to see what they were doing with AQW Infinity, moderators like leaving, moderators being fired, moderators making not suitable content, artists, like actual in-game artists having Patreons for not suitable for work stuff, which was then promoted by AQW moderators. What is going on? All I wanted to know is if there was a new class coming out. I didn't want to see frickin' Twiggly getting railed by Nolgath. Okay? No one wants to see that. If you do want to see that, you're sick. I just wanted to look at this new class. That's all I wanted to know. And here I am getting fucking traumatized. I think Ardix Entertainment need to clean up their moderation team. They need to clean up their frickin' communication, and they gotta get their shit sorted out. All right? I know we've been kind of like rambling and ranting for a little bit of a while, but